Good morning.
Good morning.
BS here.
Live from Shepton Mallet.
Shepton Mallet Somerset. UK, to be precise.
Where our brick and mortar store is located.
We resell luxury pre-owned garments, accessories, men's and women's wear. I know, it couldn't get much better.
All in one place, you say?
And we make videos on YouTube, reviewing handbags, our personal hauls, personal reviews of our personal items.
Personal collections, lots of personal stuff.
Collections, tours of the shop, etc. You can find all our details on our Instagram and our website down below in the description box, but it's just BS Luxury Lifestyle. Put it on Google, type in, if you're in America, put UK.
Is it a US one? I doubt it. I'm not sure you have to put UK.
There might be lots of variants.
There might be a BS.
You never know.
Okay.
Anyway, so today we started a new tradition here at BS Towers, and that is we comment, we react and answer your questions on video. We did a video regarding the luxury community, which I will link down below, or you can view yourself. And as a result, we've been getting some negatory comments.
Loves
or
it.
Maybe it's just people that want their questions answered and are just a little bit aggressive. Yeah. So we're going to answer them for you live on air. We're not live at all. I'm going to edit this.
Not bad.
So I'm going to have the modular device, and I'm going to read through it, and we will react to it.
So this is one comment from one person, and we're going to react to it as we go.
This was left. I will leave all commentees anonymous.
That's fine.
For their own,
Unless you really, really want to be mentioned by name, in which case, when you put a comment, say, "Ha, it's me."
Shout me out.
Shout me out. Fine, that's a good one.
Anyway, so this was left in regards to a Mulberry video, the Bayswater versus the Heritage Bayswater. For all the people that don't know but are into Mulberry, there was a redesign on the Bayswater by Johnny Coker, who was brought into the company around 2015-2016.
New one.
New one is Adala, and the Heritage, everyone knows the Heritage.
This is a smaller version, but
That's
kind of like that.
Yeah. And this was in regards to those two bags.
Okay, hit me. What's the comment?
Here we go. A suede lining would be impossible to clean if you waste something inside, wouldn't it?
Okay. I would say suede's not the easiest of things to clean. I grant you. However,
nor is leather, nor is paper.
What would be if it's ink, or if it's even coffee or something which is more easier rid of than ink, for example. I don't really. I understand the comment. I understand where it's come from, but I think she's comparing it to microfiber. In as much as microfiber, I find harder to clean than suede because it doesn't have that kind of that pile. When I say pile, like as regards a carpet, kind of depth of pile.
A lot
suede
of
has.
Suede cleaning tools now, which you can buy yourself on Amazon or wherever, which allow you that have bristles, which allow you to get into the material. And there's a lot of products surrounding suede now, where there isn't that development for microfiber, because microfiber is quite a synthetic thing.
I was just going to say we mentioned in a previous video as well the dyeing process for microfiber. It's slightly different to suede. Suede takes colour a lot better and is more colour fast, if you will. So microfiber, yes, you can scrub away if you fancy, technically. The problem is good, unless you know what you're doing and you've done it multiple times, there's a good chance you'll take away, if not all, some of the colour, specifically in when we're talking about the bags. Whereas suede, it kind of has that colour fastness more so.
And durability.
Yeah.
Okay, so
there's
to answer that question, actually I would say suede is a better material to have your bags lined with for durability, for cleaning, etc.
I'd also agree that a lot of luxury companies use suede for that reason.
Probably 80 to 90%.
It also makes a luxury, and I think once again, not kind of downing them or knocking them, but for example, if you're aware of kind of Cass Kidston's brand, they use the oilcloth. If you're worried about that kind of thing, use an oilcloth bag or use a canvas bag. I mean, not all. I'm not saying anyone who uses canvas is necessarily cheap. What I'm saying is there are other fabrics you can be found inside luxury bags if you're bothered by that. Microfiber, comparing microfiber to suede is not really a. No, it's not.
The new one looks like a Michael Kors bag. Wash your mouth out with soap. I'm going full mother mode now. Okay. We do not compare.
But it's the lady's opinion, to be quite frank.
Well, it sucks.
No, it doesn't.
A Michael Kors bag, right? There's so many things in this comment.
So that's supposed to be a negative comment, I'm guessing. Saying that Michael Kors is a knock on the brand, yeah?
Right. I don't hate Michael Kors bags, not at all. Michael Kors bags, though, are not of a Mulberry standard, and that's just fact in terms of materials. In the other video, I was referring to leather in terms of the hide, and what they do with the hide is take the top layer of fabric of hide, so leather, the thicker layer, and that is sold to luxury companies such as Mulberry, Gucci.
It's the best bit, if you will, yeah?
Michael Kors is known, fact, to buy the undercut. So Michael Kors uses the cut of leather used on bags such as Topshop.
Or like a high-end high street, like a Whistles,
yes.
or something like that, correct?
Now, the construction is better than a standard high street bag. I'm not going to take that away from you.
And
there
once
are, again, two types of Michael Kors
I was just going to say,
bags.
there's also levels. So when we say this isn't every person who owns a Michael Kors bag. No. Don't hit the comments and say you slated us. No, not at all.
Michael Kors is a very complicated company.
What most people know is Michael Kors. You're talking about what to me would look like a knockoff Louis Vuitton Neverfull.
It's just been
plastic
liquidized so much as a company.
Exactly.
That there's
it's been
no
cheapened.
real design there anymore.
No.
It is more of a high-end high street brand.
And some of the bags go for thousands. Don't get me wrong. They have like
that's a different level. We're not talking.
No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about what this what this person meant.
Michael Kors bag. Yes. Now they're more than $100 or £100 fine, but so can some of the Topshop real leather bags be.
Yeah.
So they're not in a comparable state for me personally. You wear whatever you want to wear. I'm not hating. People rock different things every day.
Of course.
I'm just talking in a factual manner in terms of materials,
they're different levels.
fabric, construction. Now, what I think she means is that we compared the smooth calf bag,
yes,
which has no grain to it,
this one.
at all. So it is more structured, and Michael Kors are famously more structured because they use more of a Stefano leather.
Yeah,
it's a
definitely.
different
more like
type of cross-boarded leather.
In actual fact, Prada use that, and it's probably some of the most famous leather. Yeah. So it's not about that look, but that's what I think that's what the person's
referring to.
Yep. Or thinking to.
So I don't really understand that comment, because for me, then it's like comparing brie and cheddar. It's just
two different things.
They're the same thing, but
they're not.
Things.
Yeah.
So we'll just move swiftly past that one. It looks cheaper. Okay. Well, I guess that's in regards to the Michael Kors bags, because they're of a cheaper price point. So maybe that wraps into that one.
And also, maybe as an opinion, I suppose, once again, or our information, or we try to, a lot of our opinions will come at you. Having said that, we try and base it as much as we can with fact.
Yes.
However, someone saying a bag looks cheaper, I need more context than that. Like,
it's also,
if I'm going to say something, if I'm going to say something, exactly, if I'm going to say something looks cheap, now, that can come from 100 different places. Maybe my own personal preference is I think it looks cheap because I like a certain kind of look. Maybe I'm saying it looks cheap because I don't have that. Maybe I'm saying it looks cheap because I've seen something I really love and it looks nothing like that. There were so many different variables, and as much as obviously I don't want to be reading too much in these comments, to say as a blanket statement it looks cheap, it's hard to answer that really with a proper answer, because that's an opinion, isn't it?
It's so subjective,
you know?
Yeah.
Okay, move on.
I personally don't think they look cheap.
No, it doesn't. And I would also say, sorry to interrupt you, but the fact is we deal with high-end and luxury items every single day. And if I were to give you, I could give you 10 brands actually, and I won't do, which should never be classed as luxury brands, because some of their items do become cheap.
Yeah. Well, they just use cheaper materials and they put
which actually are cheap.
Price point up.
That bag isn't one of them.
Yeah. Again, I also go back for that comment. I also go back to if you have preconceived ideas, etc., or you think that, please go and go to store, touch, feel the weight, try different levers, because this is obviously a smooth calf.
Yeah, that's not a great example in actual fact.
It's not,
you know,
it's not the same. So go and try out different things and see what's best for you.
Yeah.
In terms of that. And I don't like that the new bag has holes that allow stuff to drop out if you bend over.
Oh, so let me just show what's meant. So the sides on the new Bayswater, just to let you know, these things I think guessing the lady's referring to, they pop in and out. Now, that my own personal suggestion would be if you were to buy this bag,
if you're a bender, like you like to bend over.
Okay, I didn't get that reference. You would just carry it like that because nothing can fall out that way.
Also, I just like to reference as a woman to woman here, unpop the sides. The only way anything is going to fall out that bag is if you go upside down. Right. So unless you are thinking about going like skydiving.
Which Mulberry advert recently did someone hold a bag like this? There actually wasn't there?
It was this bag.
We'll insert that right now.
Oh God, I gotta find it now. the pressure.
But
Mulberry didn't add campaign where they hold their baseball upside down.
Yes, they did. I don't know why. Very recently.
I think they're advertising that things don't fall out.
Going back, maybe they will now. But going back to your point, I do understand exactly what you're saying. And if you held it like that and really kind of shook it, I guess it would.
have to be really small things like boil sweets and
yes.
Like
I would also,
your keys wouldn't fall out.
I would also suggest if you buy a bag, any bag,
yeah.
even if it costs £10, I wouldn't necessarily do that with it.
No, please don't.
You know?
Also, there are other solutions like bag tidiers. You know, the felt bag tidiers, where you can put all your little things in compartments, and then because it's felt, generally they got a bit more
kind of lock
like,
into place
resistance.
Almost. Yeah.
There are
Either way, I
solutions to
understand what's been said, but yeah.
The bag was also carefully designed so that you can pop the sides in and out for security measures. It was a security thing.
Yep.
So like put your hand in whatever. You couldn't get your hand in there, but you know. So I would advise using that function of the bag if that is a concern for you.
I don't think that's a make or break thing if I'm buying the item.
I totally disagree that the new bag is more luxurious. Now,
once again, it's an opinion. It's an opinion.
Total disagree with us. I would go really back to the reference of go and feel the bag, go and touch the bag. Let's have some touchy-feely time with the bag, because if you're just watching it, looking at them, and your opinion because you don't like the look of one or you think one looks cheaper than the other, fine, no problem. But you have to understand that we're here with the bag, touching it, loving it.
And have them for like over 10 years.
It's in hand.
10, 15 years,
I can tell you it feels more luxurious.
Yeah, and once again, that's our opinion, and obviously this is yours, it's fine. Yeah. I would say, however, after through years and years, as I just said, of experience with these bags, I would also say the amount you see kind of beaten up and more, I guess, they look used quicker, would definitely be the more kind of the heritage, for sure.
The older bag feels very soft and rich.
Agreed.
The leather is better. It's the same. It is the same with a different tanning, dyeing treatment applied to it. They buy all the leather from the same place and do different things to it.
For anyone who didn't see the leather, we were talking obviously about this one. We're also talking about this one. Now, the person we're talking about is referencing how this is soft and rich and luxurious. It is 100%, but it's in as much as it's the same leather. It's a totally different style and finish of leather. It is. Having said that, the quality. Once again, if you love this look and this style, and this isn't the other bag, don't get me wrong, we did a whole thing with the full Bayswater. Yeah. I just don't think that they're...
they do use a heavier cut of leather in their bags, though.
If anything, this is thinner.
Yeah.
This is more solid, you know? I'll tell you now, actually, sorry to interrupt, but they tried, because we've seen the samples of it, they tried to make this bag in original MBT leather, and the reason they didn't is because it failed. It failed multiple sample tests because they wanted to do the sides and these corners, which they couldn't do because it was too floppy.
Side note as well, this one that Austin was just showing you is natural vegetable tan leather, which is the most classic Mulberry Bayswater, and it's just classic Mulberry leather. It has and people like it because it's soft and rich, is because it has It has barely any treatments done to the leather, apart from when it's black to dye and stuff. It's the most natural state you can have the leather in. That's why you get scars, uneven colouring. It tans very quickly, etc. Because it has barely anything done to it. Whereas the smooth calf or the chrome tanned, as you're seeing now in the Mulberry stores, has a much more thorough process to get the colour and stuff into it. So it becomes more structured.
Yeah, because they wanted that.
And then they print the grain in. The grain is printed into the leather, also causing structure, whereas the natural vegetable tan leather doesn't have a grain imprinted. What you see is what you get.
Characteristically, it's a slouchy leather.
So I don't agree, and I will stand up for ourselves. So this leather is not better. It's the same with different processes.
I was going to say, we're not saying, in actual fact, the original video, we mentioned what our personal beliefs were, what we thought was better and was not. I'm not saying, for any second, me personally at least, that the original is better or worse than the other. No. What I'm saying is they're as good, and to say that I totally disagree and you're wrong.
The finishes is a personal preference.
It doesn't really stand up.
The finishes are a personal reference.
Exactly.
The large Bayswater, I assume she's talking about the regular size Bayswater, which is just the Bayswater. They have had so many Bayswaters. Bayswater Satchel, Bayswater.
A large Bayswater doesn't exist.
Oversized Bayswater had front buckles. Yep. Very rare now.
Was totally different.
And then they had a Piccadilly, which is the travel size.
Which is huge, like this.
So, regular
Bayswater.
It always used to confuse me when people came in the store and asked for the large Bayswater, and I would show them Piccadilly, and they would look at me like I was mental, and I'm like,
because the Piccadilly is literally a huge version of the Bayswater, which is an awesome bag, by the way.
The large Bayswater is an everyday bag for you, for me, sorry. Okay,
the lady involved, yeah.
So I'm not looking for it to be as stylish as a bag I use just for fashion's sake. Well, then you can't compare the two bags.
Yeah, I agree.
They're two different bags for you and your lifestyle.
Because one is very, and also it's not about fashion, but based on the fact that when was the original Bayswater Heritage?
2003, it was introduced by Nicholas Knightley.
Yeah, okay, so based on the fact that this was from 2003, you just said, yeah? And this one was made around about 2016, 2015, I guess, or with the reissue. Just the fact that what's cool and what's fashionable, and I'm not saying that should be your choice, but as regards being fashion forward, I agree. I actually think the Heritage Bayswater, even the new version of the Heritage with the new kind of more structured leather, and once again, that's not MBT, just to clarify.
It's chrome tan veg.
It still doesn't look like. I'm not knocking it because I love them. I have one. Just to clarify, anyone, I have one of each actually. Yeah. But I like them that much. But just to clarify, that bag is not the same bag, and it's not fashion forward in any way, shape, or form. It looks what it is. I'm not saying that they're not fashionable. And what I'm saying is, if you're looking for a cutting edge, height of fashion bag, a Heritage Bayswater is not. I'm afraid it's just not.
Well, no, I'm saying in reference to her comment, we can't compare the two bags.
No, I'm saying they're like 20, there's almost 15 years between them.
To say you like the Heritage because it's more practical and it's not for fashion,
they weren't really
that's
the same.
Correct. Yeah. It's not. It's used for practical use.
In 2003,
practicality.
It was the it bag. That's why it became what it was. Right now, I'm not saying that it's not a great bag to buy and not a great purchase.
It's still one of the most popular bags in the world.
Exactly. But I'm saying if you're talking about fashion forward, it's not.
They're not.
In comparison, I'm talking about in comparison to like what I call new age brands. I'm talking who have been revitalized in the last kind of maybe 10 years, like a Balenciaga, like even Chanel. Although they do loads of classics, some of their high end stuff, which they release season upon season, is very sharp, angular. They have the kind of the Easter eggs, if you want, or the cues to the vintage Chanel. But a lot of them are very new shaped.
Well, they did like hologram and stuff for a while.
There you go.
But what I'm saying, getting back to the comment is that she is looking at the bag from a practical mindset. So she's watched the video from a practical mindset because she knows how she uses her Bayswater. So this was never going to look good to her because it's not a practical bag. Now, it's a practical bag for some people. It's completely subjective. I think it's a really good workhorse for London tubing and stuff like that.
I used it every day for like 3 years.
I think it's
the original Heritage Bayswater. Yeah.
No, the new one.
Oh, okay.
The new one's a really good workhorse.
They are.
It's so versatile. You push the sides in, pull them out, put a laptop in it. You can fit so much in it.
I 100% I agree.
What I'm saying is, because she's using this for practical use, she doesn't see this as, because it's so different. She doesn't see it as a practical bag.
Because it's so different. And I guess, once again, maybe that's the fact, with all due respect, and once again, please comment if you are the person who left the comment and I'm wrong. But I would guess from that statement, not as in, oh, you hate it because you don't have one. I would guess just from what you've said, I don't think you own one. And I'm not being rude, but why I say that is because if you owned one and you used one of those as well, or had the opportunity to use them both, I don't think those comments would apply to you anymore.
No, she's looking at it from the outside. She's looking at us
I have
comparing
this.
the two. I have this.
I'm not sure about this.
I'm not sure about this.
I'm picking this.
Now you're talking about it. No, it wouldn't work for me because it has different functions to this.
What you're saying is if you would loan one, for example, for a month, she would have a very different opinion of the bag.
I genuinely think like that it was designed in a very smart manner, as much as people don't think it was.
I agree.
It was smart. It's designed for. It was actually designed for a London lady. It was designed for a commuter. It was designed for someone on the train.
All in one.
Yeah, it was meant to be like, my bag does 7 different things. Like
Work,
a transformer.
laptop, stylish, cool. Yeah, all those things.
Even part of the campaign was the ability to take it from work to the party.
Just to finish this up, our comparison, maybe we did it for the colour reasons and obviously to compare the bag, not necessarily the leathers, but that kind of went sideways because people were starting to talk about the leathers.
Yeah.
But I would actually say this one, because it's so kind of pristine and the actual type of leather is more, what would you say? It's kind of like softer, smoother. If you get it in the kind of printed grain veg tan, I think chrome veg tan. If you get it in that, I would say it's a lot more of a usable bag.
It's so much more durable. Then it's such a thicker cut of leather.
Yeah.
It's more significant. The heritage can go a bit floppy.
I said
it can go a bit soft.
MBT is a slouchy leather. It is.
Yeah, they're very different. They're very different bags, and they're designed by very different people at a very different time.
15 years between.
In society. This was actually when they built like the heritage Bayswater. It was at a time when high-end fashion houses. There was Gucci, there was Louis, and there was like Hermes and blah blah blah.
Dior.
There wasn't all these cool contemporary. Virgil wasn't on the scene. Off-white, all that. It wasn't a thing.
You were either someone who was interested in fashion and who wanted, like you say, like a workhorse or something.
Yeah.
But at that point, it was so you're either really into French fashion, right, which is very different once again, or you, like you say, it was a very British thing, heritage thing, whereas because they had to change with the times, because once again, even Burberry, obviously a really contemporary British brand, weren't being so British.
Well, Mulberry was always country.
Yes,
British
country
chic. And I didn't know anyone who didn't own a Bayswater in 2003 around here. It was like the ultimate like
country chic
work bag,
yes.
Do everything bag, last you for 15 years, don't have to buy another bag.
You match it with a wax jacket, a Barber or something.
This is think of it like this. This is a fashion version. This is the new Bayswater. This is a fashion version of this. They took this bag, which was great and everyone loves, and they still make in various colourways, and they made it fashion.
But because a lot of people hear that, what I'm trying to get across is, and I think you're spot on with what you said, that's the best way to describe them both. But because a lot of people hear that, they think, well, I want the workhorse. Whereas if you actually took time to use the new one, you'd realise it could do both.
It was designed in such a way that it was meant to be
a replacement,
both.
really.
It was meant to be work and it was meant to be fashion.
Yeah.
That was the point. And then he went off and did all his little sparkly numbers and things like that, and that was his wackadoodle into high fashion. But this was meant to be the crossover point. So thank you for your comment. We disagree with quite a lot of it, but that's just opinion, and that's just based. And we try and base all our opinion, more importantly, off fact.
And you know what?
Telling you what we've got in front of us.
And there are sometimes we don't, and there are sometimes we base it on our feeling towards a piece or our opinion, which is fine. Once again, you can comment and we can answer those comments, no problem. What I would say is, like you just said, not only does it come from a place where we've had experience with these items, but also I would say years and years of using the product. It's not just, oh, do I like that? Like even still to this day, we go into a boutique anywhere, name brand, a luxury brand, and your first impressions are a lot, and then also you'll carry that, but maybe you've never used it. There are things I've said the same about, and if I actually had one, oh, it's really, really good. I kind of hate the fact I love
Yeah.
it. Do you see what I mean?
I've heard that before with things. I've heard things that I did.
Or I thought I could use it. I buy it and it's terrible.
I didn't like the Balenciaga Triple S's. Now I own them. I love them.
Yeah, there you go. And use them more than you think.
So yes, keep your comments coming in and we'll keep answering them. If you want to be sassy, we're going to be sassy back.
No, we're not. We're gonna have a good conversation. It's interesting, but there's also reasoning behind what we do.
Yes, but we want to give you more, and most importantly, we want to give you fact behind the answers and the reason why we have the opinion of the item based on our experience
it's not just a throwaway
with the company,
Yeah.
etc. So yes, we're going to do some positive ones next though, so that's fun too.
Not as fun.
Not as fun.
But thank you for the positives.
Yeah, and keep subscribing, keep liking, keep visiting the website.
Put the notification thing on, because that's always cool.
I mean, get a message on Instagram, which is really cool. So keep messaging me on Instagram, I love it. And yes.
Bye.